Hey, this is Mr. Elmhorst with a sixth grade math help video. We're taking a look at integers or mixed integers homework. So question one, when you look at multiplying a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative, so the positives are going to stay positive, but two negatives are going to end up the opposite. The negative of a negative tells it to switch will also be a positive. So that is true. When signals are different and you are multiplying integers, the answer is never negative. Okay, and so when you multiply a positive times a negative, the positive tells the negative to keep being negative. So that would be a negative. Or if you had a negative times a positive, the negative is already being negative. You multiply by a positive, and the positive doesn't change it. Only negatives will change the sign. So when signs are different, this is actually always negative. Okay. Question three, this little star right here means multiplication. So we got negative 2 times 8. So first things first, 2 times 8 is 16. And then a negative times a positive, we're going to treat that as a positive because there's no sign in front of it. The negative times the positive is not going to change that negative, so it will stay negative. So negative 16. 20 divided by 5, negative 20 divided by negative 5. So 20 divided by 5 is going to give us 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And the negative divided by a negative, the negative of a negative, when the negative runs into the other negative, it's going to switch it to a positive. So this grouping, negative 4 parentheses 9, means multiplication. So that means negative 4 groups of negative 9. So 4 times 9 is going to give us 36. And then the negative of a negative times a negative. The second negative is going to switch the first one back to a positive. So 3 times 7 is 21, and a positive times a negative would stay negative. 27 divided by 3 is going to be 9, and then double negatives, the opposite of a negative is going to be positive. 12 times 4 is 48, and then 30 divided by 6 will be 5, and the negative divided by a positive, the positive is going to leave the negative where it's at, which is negative. 9 times 4 is 36. And then a positive times a negative was going to keep being negative. Now, hold on. We have 18 positives and 3 negatives. This is not multiplication. This says find the sum, putting them together. Combine. And this is not groups. So this is not repeated multiplication or division. So we are going to combine them. So positives and negatives. So you have 18 positives and 3 negatives. These are opposites. Opposites are going to subtract. So we're going to subtract 18. Subtract. 18 minus 3 is going to give us 15. And you have more positives. So your answer is positive. All right, this is division. It's a very tiny symbol there. We're dividing. So we got 48 divided by 4, which is 12. 48 divided by 4, and then there's a negative divided by a positive. So those are going to stay negative. Negative groups of 12. Okay, and so the temperature change. If the temperature was 92 degrees on Monday, what was the ending temperature on Sunday? So we're starting Monday right here. Monday was 92. And first we went down 3 degrees. And then we went up 5 degrees. And then we subtracted 4 degrees. So you could do it that way, one step at a time, or -3, -4, -1, -2. So we got -3, -4, -1, -2. These are all the same thing, so we're going to add these. 3 plus 4 is 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 negatives, and then 5 and 3, +5, +3. These are all the same, so we're going to add those. So we get +8. So -10 and +8. Together, we're going to subtract these two numbers. 10 minus 8 is going to give us 2. There's more negatives, -2. So with all that going on, 92 degrees on Sunday or Monday after everything changes, -2 degrees, and that would be a final answer. Find the quotient means divide. 24 divided by 3 is going to be 8, and the negative of a negative would be a positive. 7 subtract -5. As soon as we see subtraction here in the middle, keep, change, change. So we're going to change this to addition and then change this sign. 7 plus 5. Brandon went up 9 flights of stairs, 9. Then he went down 3 flights. And then he went back up 1 flight. Up means 1. So you got 9 plus -3 plus 1. 9 times 7, multiply those two. 9 times 7 is going to be 63. And then a negative times a positive. The negative times a positive says just keep being negative. So -63. A negative times a positive would stay negative. So looking at our Venn diagram, 0 is a whole number. Whole numbers are integers, and integers are rational. So that is whole number, integer, and rational. So you're going to get all 3 labels. That is true.